Hey warriors, focus is the sharpest blade you can carry in this life. Without it, even the strongest sword turns dull and useless. Without focus, your mind becomes like a drifting boat, lost in the endless sea of distractions, carried wherever the waves take it. But when focus burns within your spirit, you gain the ability to slice through noise, to cut through doubt, and to shape a life that feels powerful, purposeful, and unshakable. Most people aren't defeated because they lack talent, strength, or intelligence. They fall because their focus has been stolen by noise, temptations, endless notifications, by the opinions of others, and by the trap of doing everything except what truly matters. The world is designed to scatter your attention. The Stoics understood this long ago. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. Your focus is your power. It's your ability to direct energy where it counts most. When you master it, you stop being a slave to chaos. You become its master. That's what this message is about. Reclaiming your power, sharpening your mind, and following the Stoic path to focus so strong it feels like your soul is on fire with purpose. But let's be clear, focus isn't about forcing yourself to work harder or sitting motionless for endless hours. Focus is about clarity. It's about knowing exactly where your energy must go and refusing to let anything unimportant steal it. Seneca once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." When your focus is broken, your life feels wasted. But when your focus is whole, your life feels infinite. Picture yourself as an archer. You hold the bow, you have the arrow, but the world around you is loud. The crowd shouts. The wind pulls. Doubts whisper. Yet the Stoic way teaches you to silence the noise, to breathe deeply, to see the target with unwavering clarity, and to release your arrow without hesitation. That right there is true focus. In the next 30 minutes, I'll share with you 10 powerful Stoic-based truths that can increase your focus by 200%. These aren't fantasies or motivational slogans. They are timeless lessons, carved from the wisdom that guided warriors, emperors, and philosophers through the storms of ancient Rome. Each truth will sharpen your attention, strengthen your purpose, and give your life deeper direction. Just half an hour stay with me. This could change the way you focus for the rest of your life. But before we begin, remember this: focus is a choice. Every single day, you decide where your attention goes, and every choice you make is shaping your destiny. Epictetus said, "You become what you give your attention to." If your attention stays on chaos, you become restless. If it lingers on anger, you become bitter. But if you fix it on growth, you become unstoppable. So ask yourself, where has your focus been lately? Scattered and stolen by the noise of the world, or sharp, guarded, and directed like a warrior's blade? This message is here to remind you of your strength, to show you how to reclaim your attention and protect it like your life depends on it, because it does. Before we move on, make yourself a promise not just to listen, but to live this. Take these 10 truths and apply them daily. If you do, your focus will not only grow, will transform you into someone unstoppable now. Before we begin, do one thing for me. Like this video. Leave a comment, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to the channel. Don't skip a second, because by the end, your mindset will be sharper than ever. Start your journey strong. Drop this in the comments. My focus is my power. Number 1. Guard your mind like a fortress. Your focus is only as strong as the walls you build around your mind. In ancient times, a city's safety depended on the strength of its walls. The Stoics believed the same about the human spirit. The greatest danger isn't the attack from outside, it's the invasion of distractions within. Marcus Aurelius once warned himself, "You have been wandering. Now you must stop." He was reminding himself to return to discipline, to guard his mind, to prevent his attention from scattering like leaves in the wind. That ancient wisdom is even more urgent today. Every beep, buzz, and meaningless scroll is a crack in your fortress wall. And when the walls fall, your focus is stolen. Guarding your mind means building boundaries. It means saying no more often than you say yes. It means declaring that your attention is sacred. Because here's the truth: if you don't protect your focus, someone else will use it for their gain. Companies spend billions just to steal a second of your attention. Every click, every scroll, every next video is a chain around your ability to think deeply. A Stoic would tell you, protect your fortress. Limit what enters. Ask yourself, before every distraction, will this help me become who I wish to be? If the answer is no, shut the gate, because every time you give in, you're not just losing time, you're losing yourself. So, practice practical wisdom. Create rituals that strengthen your inner walls. Begin your mornings in silence, not with your phone. Decide on the 3 things that matter most today, and let your focus revolve around them. Keep one space, just one, free of noise, where your mind can breathe. The Stoics practiced stillness daily, not as luxury, but as necessity. When you guard your mind like a fortress, you no longer feel scattered. You feel grounded, powerful, and unshakable. You stop being a victim of distractions and become their master. And once you master them, your focus doesn't just double, it multiplies. Claim this truth for yourself. Write it below. I guard my focus like a fortress. Number 2, cut away what weakens you. Focus isn't just about discipline, it's about subtraction. A sculptor doesn't create a masterpiece by adding more clay, but by cutting away the excess. The Stoics lived by that same principle. Epictetus said, "If you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid by others." Why? Because people will never understand why you choose to remove what they cling to. But you must, if you want to reach true focus. Think about your daily life. How many things do you hold on to that don't serve you? Endless chats, empty entertainment, gossip, toxic conversations. Of these drain not just minutes, but clarity. Focus thrives in simplicity. Chaos thrives in excess. Most people never reach their potential because they can't let go. That's why minimalism is more than just a lifestyle, it's a philosophy of the mind. A Stoic clears their mental landscape, like a warrior sharpening his sword by removing what weakens it. You can't strengthen your focus while drowning in noise. You have to create a life where only what truly matters remains. Ask yourself, what weakens me? Who weakens me? Where do I waste my fire? Write the answers. See them clearly. Then, little by little, cut them away. It might hurt, but it will free you. Marcus Aurelius said, "If you seek tranquility, do less, or rather, do what's essential." True tranquility and focus come not from doing everything, but from doing what truly matters. Focus isn't a gift, it's a decision. And the first decision is subtraction. When you remove the unnecessary, you don't just free your time, you reclaim your power. Like a sculptor revealing beauty from stone. Your life becomes a masterpiece when you learn to cut away the excess. Number 3, master the power of single tasking. The modern world glorifies multitasking, but multitasking is the silent enemy of focus. Your mind isn't a juggler, it's an arrow, and an arrow cannot strike 2 targets at once. Seneca warned, to be everywhere is to be nowhere. When you scatter your attention, you lose your depth. You may touch many things but master none. The Stoics were masters of presence. They taught that to live fully is to give yourself completely to this moment, to this task, to this breath. When you do that, your focus becomes unstoppable. Imagine writing with your full attention, not half of it. Imagine listening with complete presence, not while checking your phone. Imagine pursuing your dream with undivided energy. That is single tasking. Modern science confirms what the Stoics already knew. The brain isn't built for multitasking. Every switch burns energy and weakens you. Each time you divide yourself, your focus fragments. But when you devote yourself to one task fully, you enter a state modern thinkers call flower, timeless focus where effort feels effortless. To master single tasking, start small. When you eat, just eat. When you walk, just walk. When you work, just work. Every act done with full attention becomes sacred. And when you train your mind this way, you don't just build focus, you awaken peace. When you read, just read. When you work, just work. Resist every urge to scatter yourself. It will feel strange at first because distraction has become your modern addiction. But if you persist through the discomfort, your ability to focus will grow like a muscle that becomes stronger each time you train it. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself each day, do every act of your life as though it were the very last act of your life. Reflect on that. If this task before you were your final one, would you rush through it? Would you divide your attention between 100 little distractions, or would you pour your entire being into it with full awareness and intent? That is the Stoic way. That is how you increase your focus by 200%. Single tasking transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. It turns routine work into meaningful creation, turns conversations into moments of deep connection, and makes goals feel not only achievable but inevitable. You don't need to do more. You simply need to do one thing well. Lock this wisdom into your mind. Repeat it until it becomes your code of life. Comment it now. I give my full focus to one task. Number 4. Discipline your environment. A distracted environment creates a distracted mind. You cannot plant seeds in a storm and expect them to grow strong. In the same way, you cannot build unbreakable focus in an environment that constantly pulls you away from what matters. The Stoics understood this truth deeply. They believed that while you cannot control the world outside, you can always control the space you choose to inhabit. Epictetus once said, "The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best." That wisdom extends beyond people, applies to the very places where you live, work, and think. If your surroundings are filled with noise and clutter, your thoughts will reflect that same chaos. If your environment tempts you with distractions, your mind will scatter like leaves in the wind. Disciplining your environment means designing conditions where focus becomes effortless, where your surroundings naturally guide you toward clarity instead of confusion. Remove what distracts you. Clean your desk. Put your phone in another room when you're working. Keep reminders of your highest goals visible so they anchor your mind daily. Make your surroundings a temple of concentration. Most people believe willpower is enough, but willpower fades quickly. The truth is, your environment shapes your behavior far more than your intentions ever will. The Stoics practiced this by retreating to still places for reflection, by simplifying their surroundings, by walking in nature to silence the internal noise. They trained themselves to be stronger by carefully choosing where they stood and what surrounded them. Ask yourself honestly, does my environment pull me closer to my goals, or does it drag me away from them? If it pulls you away, then it must change. You are not weak for needing structure. You are wise for creating it. Focus cannot be built in chaos. It is built through order. Imagine a warrior sharpening his sword before a battle, a philosopher clearing his desk before writing, or a monk lighting a candle before meditation. Imagine yourself shaping a space where your focus can breathe freely, where distractions fade into the background like distant noise. That is discipline. That is control. That is how you strengthen your focus by 200%. Number 5. Train your attention with stillness. Stillness is not weakness, is supreme strength. In a world that glorifies speed and noise, the one who can remain still possesses the greatest power, control over their own attention. Marcus Aurelius practiced this every morning. He would rise early, sit in silence, and write his thoughts to himself. "Nowhere you can go is more peaceful," he said, "freer of interruptions, than your own soul." The modern world has stolen this stillness. Noise fills every corner of our lives. Distraction hides behind every screen. Silence feels uncomfortable, even unbearable. Yet without stillness, your focus becomes fragile. The Stoics knew that silence is the training ground of the mind. Just as weights strengthen the body, stillness strengthens attention. It sharpens your ability to choose your thoughts instead of being dragged by them. Training your attention with stillness doesn't require hours of meditation on a mountaintop. It's found in simple moments of returning to yourself. 5 quiet minutes before your day begins. A slow, conscious breath when chaos surrounds you. Closing your eyes to remember, I control my mind. Nothing outside controls me. This is how focus grows, one moment of still awareness at a time. Your attention is like a muscle. Each time you bring it back to the present moment, it grows stronger. The more you train it, the longer you can hold it. Stillness is the gym of the mind. The Stoics used exercises of visualization, imagining challenges before they arrived, picturing worst outcomes so that fear lost its hold. They sat in silence, not to escape the world, but to prepare for it. Stillness was not comforted with training. You can do the same. Once a day, put everything away. No phone, no music, no noise. Sit in silence for 5 minutes. Let your thoughts run wild. Then gently bring them back to your breath, to your purpose, to your work. At first your mind will resist. It will itch for distraction. But stay with it. Soon you will feel a quiet strength rising within you, the strength of unshakable focus. Stillness is not the absence of movement, it is the presence of power. It is the art of returning to yourself, of reclaiming control over your mind and directing it toward what matters most. In stillness, your focus is trained, and when your focus is trained, it becomes a weapon. Make this your promise and write it below. I train my focus through stillness. Number 6. Turn obstacles into focus fuel. Distractions don't just come from pleasures, they often come from pain. Frustration, fear, and obstacles can scatter your attention faster than anything else. When life becomes difficult, most people lose their focus. They drown in emotion, abandon clarity, and let chaos take control of their mind. But the Stoics discovered another path, the art of transforming obstacles into fuel. Marcus Aurelius declared, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is one of the most powerful Stoic principles ever written. The very things that distract most people can become your source of strength if you change your perspective. Think of it like fire. Wood thrown into flames doesn't extinguish them. The same is true for your focus. When pain, challenge, or difficulty enters your life, don't let it scatter you. Use it as a sharpening stone. Let it remind you why your focus matters more than ever. When someone doubts you, don't waste your energy on anger, channel it into your work. When a problem appears, don't sink into frustration. Direct your energy toward a solution. When life tests you, don't allow your mind to fragment, sharpen it. Every obstacle can either destroy your focus or refine it. The choice is always yours. This mindset takes practice. You must train yourself to pause when adversity strikes and ask, how can this serve me? How can this challenge make my focus stronger? Over time, you'll see that every problem polishes your discipline. Every setback increases your clarity, and every hardship fuels your determination. The world is full of distractions disguised as difficulties, but once you flip them, they become power. When you master this, your focus stops being fragile, it becomes indestructible. Number 7. Live by daily rituals, not random impulses. The distracted mind moves by impulse. It reacts to whatever feels urgent, chasing one thing after another, never building depth. But the focused mind lives by ritual. The Stoics believed that order in daily life creates freedom in the spirit. Epictetus taught, first say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do. Rituals are anchors. They ground you when distractions try to pull you away. They give your mind rhythm, structure, and direction. Without them, you drift like a ship lost at sea. With them, you sail steadily toward your purpose. Think of the small, consistent rituals that can protect your focus: waking early with intention, journaling for clarity, practicing silence before work, setting fixed hours for deep tasks, and reflecting on your day each evening. These habits may seem simple, but over time they create mental discipline that no distraction can easily break. Most people wait for motivation to appear, but motivation is fleeting. Rituals don't depend on feelings, they depend on discipline. When you live by ritual, focus becomes automatic. Your mind knows what to do, when to do it, and why it matters. The Stoics practiced morning reflections to prepare their minds for the day's storms and evening, journaling to strengthen their wisdom. They lived by rhythm, not randomness. That rhythm allowed them to remain calm and focused even when the world crumbled around them. Ask yourself, what rituals can guard my focus? What habits can anchor my day? Begin small. Start with one ritual and live it with intention. Even a single ritual, practiced consistently, begins to build your strength. And as you add more rituals, your focus doesn't just grow, it multiplies. Rituals are not cages that restrict your freedom. They are the wings that allow you to rise higher. They are not chains that bind you. They are the structure that sets you free. Because when you live through ritual, you are no longer a slave to your fleeting moods or impulses. You operate from discipline, and that discipline sharpens your focus beyond you doubling, even tripling your mental strength. Number 8. Control your inner dialogue. Your focus isn't stolen only by the chaos outside, it's also taken by the noise inside your own mind. The doubts, the fears, the overthinking, the endless mental chatter, they drain your energy faster than any external distraction. The Stoics understood this deeply. They trained not only their actions, but also their thoughts, mastering their inner dialogue, because they knew clarity in the outer world begins with clarity within. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." And your reaction always begins with your thoughts. If your inner world is chaotic, your focus will mirror that chaos. But if your inner voice is steady, your focus becomes immovable, like a mountain unmoved by storm. Most people let their minds wander endlessly. They argue with themselves, replay mistakes from the past, and imagine fears that haven't yet come to life. But every time you do that, your attention leaks drop by drop like water escaping from a cracked jar. To focus, you must repair that jar. You must guard your thoughts and choose them with care. Become the master of your inner voice. When negative thoughts rise, do not wrestle with them, replace them. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," say, "I will stay with this until it is done." Instead of thinking, "I'm overwhelmed," remind yourself, "I will take one step at a time." This is not about blind optimism. This is Stoic discipline. It's giving your mind words that strengthen rather than weaken you. The Stoics practiced this mastery through journaling. Marcus Aurelius wrote daily not for the world, but for himself. Each morning and night, He shaped his thoughts with ink, reminding himself of what truly mattered, silencing the noise within. You can do the same. Write your doubts, your fears, your distractions, then replace them with words that sharpen your focus. Your inner dialogue is either your prison or your weapon. Master it, and your focus will become unbreakable. Number 9. Strengthen focus. Through the body. Focus is not just a mental discipline, it is physical. A weary body cannot hold a sharp mind. A restless lifestyle breeds a restless spirit. The Stoics viewed the body as a servant to the mind, something to be trained so it could serve the higher purpose of clarity and focus. Seneca reminded himself, we should treat the body rigorously, that it may not be disobedient to the mind. This was not vanity, it was wisdom, because a weak, undisciplined body weakens the mind, while a trained and balanced body strengthens it. Your brain is not detached from your flesh. The quality of your sleep, the food you eat, the way you move, all of it affects your ability to concentrate. If you sleep little, eat poorly, and neglect movement, your focus will scatter no matter how much you try. But if you treat your body with discipline, your mind will follow naturally. This doesn't demand extreme routines. It means balance. Sleep at proper hours. Move daily, even if just for 20 minutes. Eat foods that energize rather than dull your senses. Breathe deeply. Walk in fresh air. These simple acts lift the fog of fatigue. They make your focus solid. The Stoics often walked through nature, trained their bodies, and lived simply so that their minds could remain clear. They understood that the mind cannot be free if the body is enslaved by weakness or neglect. Your focus lives not just in your thoughts, lives in your muscles, your breath, and your daily habits. Strengthen the body, and the mind will naturally follow. Number 10. Live each day as if focus decides everything. The greatest lie people whisper to themselves is, I'll focus tomorrow. But tomorrow is a thief. It steals your potential quietly, offering promises it never intends to keep. The Stoics saw through this illusion. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Focus is not something you wait to master. Someday it is something you live now. Every day you lose to distraction is not just time gone. It's a piece of your life you'll never reclaim. Distraction doesn't just take minutes. It drains meaning. It empties purpose. If you live each day scattered, your life will reflect that same scattering and finished projects, forgotten dreams, and wasted potential. But if you live each day as if focus determines everything, then your life will become precise, powerful, and filled with purpose. This doesn't mean rushing or forcing productivity. Stoic focus was never about speed, it was about deliberate living. It was about standing fully in the present and asking what truly deserves my attention today. Then guarding that answer like your life depends on it because it does. Focus is not found by luck. It is protected, cultivated, and defended. Imagine beginning each morning not with chaos, but with calm clarity. You wake and ask yourself, what truly matters today? That one question becomes your compass. And at night, before sleep, you reflect, did I give my best attention to what mattered most? If yes, you rest in peace. If no, you rise tomorrow with stronger determination. That is how focus is built through daily repetition, not fantasy. The Stoics lived with urgency because they knew time was not guaranteed. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." When you carry this truth, you stop waiting. You stop saying tomorrow. You realize that focus must happen today, because today is all you ever truly have. When you live this way, distractions lose their power. The scrolling, the notifications, the noise all shrink in importance when measured against the brevity of life. Your attention becomes sacred currency, and when you spend it on what truly matters, your life becomes richer, fuller, and infinitely more meaningful. Each day becomes an act of urgency, not panic, but purpose. The urgency to live fully, to act deliberately, to focus with intent. This urgency becomes your fire. And as days turn into years, you will look back not at fragments of distraction, but at a life of clarity, strength, and meaning. So don't wait for tomorrow. Don't let distractions steal what can never be returned. Live as though focus decides everything, because it does. Seal this Stoic truth with action. Write this line as your reminder. Today, I live with focus and urgency. Focus is not just a tool, it is the sharp edge of your soul. With it, you cut through chaos. You silence the noise. You create meaning. Without it, you dissolve into fragments until nothing remains. The Stoics knew the mind is your true kingdom. Guard it, sharpen it, rule it well, and no force outside can ever conquer you. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca faced storms, chaos, and hardship, yet remained unbroken. What kept them steady was not wealth or fame, it was focus. The focus to live by principle, to act with clarity, to master themselves before mastering the world. You can do the same. Guard your mind like a fortress. Eliminate what weakens you. Practice single tasking. Discipline your environment. Train in stillness. Turn obstacles into strength. Live by ritual. Command your inner dialogue. Strengthen your body, and live each day as though focus decides everything. These 10 truths are not lessons, they are weapons. Wield them, and your focus will not just improve, it will transform your life. But never forget, focus is a choice. Each day, you decide whether to scatter it or sharpen it. In those decisions, your destiny is written. So live with intention. Protect your focus like your soul depends on it, because it does. And before you go, seal this lesson with action. Write this final line: my focus creates my destiny.